Hello, my name is Marcus Zealous, and I'm the communications pastor at South Valley Community Church in Lemoore, California. It's no mystery that our world is living in, and has been living in, an information age. For better or for worse, information is disseminated as quickly as news happens. We have literal computers in our pockets as cell phone capabilities continue to increase, making access to information simple and efficient. As the global church, we have the most important news that anyone could ever know, and that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. There is nothing more critical, more personal, more beautiful, and more transformative than the good news of Jesus. And we are positioned with frequent opportunities to expose people to this good news. As a communications pastor, I often interact with people coming to our church for the first time. And when I ask them how they came to know about South Valley Community Church, one of the most frequent responses we hear is that they found us on social media. This makes absolute sense, especially when the average person, according to Forbes, spends about 145 minutes on social media a day. So what does that all mean for modern day ministry? It means that one of the greatest ways that we can reach people for Christ is through social media. Churches all over the world are utilizing this tool to communicate the love, the grace, and truth of Jesus Christ. Now, whether or not your church currently uses social media as a means for sharing information, here are some considerations to keep in mind. First, get a sense of what social media platforms are prevalent in your congregation. If you are a social media user, you likely have a pulse on this already, especially if you engage with people online via social media. Becoming aware of what your community already uses will help determine what platform or platforms you'll want to use for your church social media account. For us at South Valley, we found that our church primarily uses Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, so those are the platforms we found to be best for us. The next important detail is to find someone that can run your social media accounts. Ideally, this would be someone that is familiar with the ins and outs of social media use, someone that has a strong handle on written and verbal communication, and is someone that you trust to represent Christ and your church well. This might be a staff member or a volunteer, but either way, the goal would be for this person to be able to lead this ministry, because this is indeed a ministry. Now, after you've found someone to run your accounts, you'll want to work together on what type of content you'll want to communicate with your social media platforms. Some ideas would be invitations to your events and services, photo or video recaps of your events and services, brief clips of sermons, or encouraging Bible verses and messages. Now, these are just a few examples of some of the content you can bring to the world around you. Now, as your social media coordinator begins to engage in this practice, they'll begin to discover a rhythm for their ministry. An important practice in this area of ministry, just like any other area of ministry, is to plan your posts. For us at South Valley, we have a rhythm of posting that looks a little something like this. Saturday, an invitation post to our Sunday services with times and information on any special elements that are involved, such as baptisms, communion, food trucks, etc. Sunday, a 5 to 8 photo recap showing what our Sunday looked like on campus. And then on Monday would be an encouraging verse with a bit of commentary to go with it. Tuesday, a brief comical VBS reel encouraging people to register their kids for VBS. Wednesday, an action shot of your pastor teaching with a quote from his sermon. Thursday, an invitation post to our upcoming worship night with a call to action, such as tag a friend that you want to come with you to worship night. Friday could be a short reel of the sermon from the last Sunday, and then that brings us back to Saturday with an invitation post. Now, this is just an example of what a typical week looks like for us. It can and will look different for all churches, but here is what we are trying to keep in mind as we plan and post. First, inspiration. Our goal is to empower and inspire people with the hope of Jesus. Again, the good news is the best news we have to share. Secondly is consistency. Having a consistent presence shows viewers that your account is active, and it keeps the message in front of your viewers. Third, brevity. Social media consumers tend to engage with posts that are brief, meaningful, and to the point. And then lastly, variety. And we're talking about different types of variety, such as variety of mood. Some posts are light and comical, some have more weight and depth. Variety of ministry. We highlight different ministries and events to reach a variety of needs. Variety in diversity. The body of Christ is composed of people of various backgrounds, and people connect with that when they see this online. Now, when it comes to building a social media presence for your church, it can be fairly intimidating. It's a massive undertaking. But the biggest encouragement that I can give to you today is to just go for it. Show people what God is doing in the lives of those in your church. Give people a glimpse as to what takes place in your church. And as you provide content for people to see, those people can then take that content and share it with others. And the result could very well be a changed life, a saved life. Now, if you have any questions about social media planning, or if you'd like to expand further on what was shared here today, please feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help however we can. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless you as you love and lead those under your care.